is going on, everybody in Wrestling Review Society's Facebook page, YouTube page, Real Pro Wrestling's YouTube page, my brand new Twitch channel, which, by the way, guys, thanks to all of you watching last night and being on the streams with me, I'm now affiliated on Twitch, so thank you to everybody who helped me do that. My name is Kevin from Wrestling Review Society, and you are now watching the two-time award-winning podcast for Interview of the Year, my interview with Garrett Bischoff, and Podcast of the Year being the War Room Podcast, and that is because of all of you amazing people who tune in each and every week to watch these podcasts. Thank you so much. I have a very special guest, very interesting guest. I've wanted to do this interview for a while, and we're going to get into why this one is so interesting for me, because the first conversation we had, I didn't think this was ever going to happen. But she is here. She's willing to answer all of your guys' questions. So if you have any questions for myself or Miss Kallee, please let me know in the comments section. I will ask your comments as they come up. I do ask that you be respectful, and we'll ask every question that we possibly can. With that being said, I want to take a chance to plug our amazing sponsors who make this show happen each and every week. First of which being A-Rock Designs. A-Rock Designs is that custom business that makes all those cool wrestling cups you see floating around everywhere. If you want to get your hands on any custom merchandise, make sure you go to A-Rock Designs on Facebook and place your orders with Ashley Rodriguez. If you're having trouble finding it, reach out to me and I can point you in the right direction. Also, guys, all of our merch is available at storefrontier.com/Wrestling Review Society, like the Wrestle Hub hoodie I'm currently wearing, along with some other really cool designs I think you guys are going to like. So go to storefrontier.com/Wrestling Review Society and score your merch today. Lastly, guys, the one scrolling at the bottom of the screen, thecoldestwater.com. Guys, these people make some of the best water bottles I have ever tried in my entire life. I fill it up one time in the morning. It keeps my drink cold all day long. I could not ask for a better product. If you guys want to check out any of their amazing products, go to thecoldestwater.com and check out their water bottles, t-shirts, ice packs, and they just released their new line of coffee. And if you want to get your hands on anything like that, make sure you use promo code WRESTLING to save 10% at checkout. And guys, let's be honest. Has there ever been a better promo code than promo code WRESTLING? It's promo code WRESTLING to save 10% at checkout, guys. With that being said, I'm going to bring my guest on, then I'm going to run through some of these comments. But she is absolutely destroying the independent scene in the state of Florida. And, you know, before COVID, she was in such high demand, and it's starting to get back there. I'm so happy to have her on here. It's going to be a great next hour or so with her. But ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute privilege and honor to introduce to you the very first Real Pro Wrestling Women's Champion, Miss Kallee Marie. Kallee, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic. I was telling you backstage, you know, I didn't think this was ever going to happen. So I'm glad that we're able to sit down together and talk about wrestling.
Ditto, me as well.
So, you know, I hinted at it earlier, or I hinted at it when during your intro, and I got to know, how does it feel to be the first Real Pro Wrestling Women's Champion?
Well, this is the revamp for the company.
Mhm.
There were women's champions in the past, which I did compete against, which was super awesome. I had a ton of title opportunities and matches with some incredible other female talent in Florida. But to get the revamp and the title be relinquished and me and Kelsey in the ring, it was a blast of a match, and I am so excited to be representing this company and working with all the new upcoming girls that I'm going to be working with in the future.
It was such a great match to watch. The back and forth between you two was absolutely amazing, and we're going to get into that match. I don't want to skip ahead too far, but we are definitely going to get to that later on in the show. But my God, what a match. And I should have been more clear. Under the new title, you are the first title holder. You know, if you have anything to say about it, you're going to be the only one to hold it. But as history shows us with wrestling, there's going to be many champions, but there'll only ever be one first champion. So congratulations. It is well-deserved. And it was an honor and a privilege to sit ringside and introduce you ladies to the ring.
Thank you.
With that being said, guys, we do have the free giveaway coming up tonight. It's going to be at the end of the show. Stick around. You have to do two things for me, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. So pay attention throughout the show, and somebody's going to win some really cool stuff. But before that, let's go ahead and talk about Kallee, because this is an amazing story. You know, you have multiple different characters, multiple different approaches to wrestling. You know, you have this really bubbly character in Reagan Fire, but then you have this other character in Destiny, and Destiny terrifies me. How are you able to balance the two, being that they are so different?
It's kind of difficult for me. I know, like I try to make stuff as
You have
like
such a bubbly
as easy as
personality.
possible. But it's definitely difficult. You definitely have to get into a different mindset when you're playing a character. But I mean, it's just like another personality. Um, but Reagan's definitely me. I'd say Reagan's very me in real life. So trying to become Destiny, which is very far from me, um, it's a struggle, but we got there. We got there somehow. We figured it out.
I was doing my homework on you and watching some of your old matches and some of your old interviews, trying to, see what direction I wanted to take this podcast in. And you are such a fascinating study. It was so easy to watch your stuff. Unlike some people, like, a guy by the name of Jason Dugan, who's just absolutely boring. Um,
Don't tell him that.
I love him to death. He's one of the best. He's one of the most inspirational stories we've ever had on this show. But anyway, like I was saying, you have one of the most interesting stories in even just starting with your name, Reagan Fire. It comes from two things that are very, very important to you. And I've been telling everybody that you are second generation. Your father wrestled before you, correct?
Correct.
And you get the name Reagan Fire because your father, after he was done wrestling, became a firefighter for, I think you said, 26 years.
That's correct. Yeah.
Well, on behalf of myself and everybody watching, I hope you'll accept my appreciation for what your father does, and honestly thank him for everything he's done for his community, wherever it is he works. It takes a very strong person to do that, but you also get the other name from your niece. Why was it so important for you to incorporate your family into your ring name?
I mean, that like those are the first people that I do this for, you know? I said when I came into the business, I didn't want to be like all the other wrestlers out there. The When I first started training, when I first started wrestling, like when people first started hearing about my name, even when it was the smallest, like the very, very smallest shows, I always said I wanted to connect with people. I wanted to respond to as many people as I can. Anybody that messaged me, I'm gonna take the time to reply, and if I don't, it's just because I'm busy. But I I just wanted to be that person that people looked up to, and I feel like that stemmed from my family. So I want to show the world like a piece of me, but also a piece of my family. So to have that incorporated, I mean, I wouldn't have it any other way. Like it's just a piece of me.
We have a comment coming in from screen name the Dad Trainer. He's a very avid viewer of all my streams, and in reference to Reagan Fire versus Destiny, he says it's almost like having a split personality. How accurate is that statement?
Um, I'd probably say in the beginning it was. In the beginning when I first started the Destiny character, part of Destiny was me. Like I did at one point feel dead inside. Um I did go through my own struggles, and Destiny was a way to show that person in the ring and do my best to overcome what I was going through. It was an outlet for me. I'd say right now, I've definitely gotten away from that. Reagan is more me. Uh, so at first, I'd definitely say it's a split personality. But as of right now, it's just like a character that I've continued and I'm trying to grow along with me.
Absolutely. Now I wanted to go and throw that comment up there because they're coming in so fast. I only have like a small window of comments that I can see, and I really wanted to address that one first. But we mentioned your dad being a wrestler before you were a wrestler and making you second generation. Did you always know you wanted to wrestle? And if so, or even if not, how did you feel growing up watching your father wrestle?
You know, I I don't think it's always something that I wanted to do. Wrestling was always something that I was fascinated by and that I loved watching, and I loved the entertainment business. Like if I like when I was little, I basically thought I was going to go into the entertainment business, whatever it may be, whether it was acting or uh like theater, like the other side of theater, dance, like whatever it was. I always was a good performer since the time that I was little. And then when I found out about wrestling, it incorporated sports, which I was a huge like sports person growing up. I was always doing sports from the time that I was little. So to have the theater aspect and this like athletic aspect combined, it just ended up being perfect. Um,
So we have a question from one of our viewers. Big Mike 6868 says, "Oh my God, yes. Do performers do any pre-workouts before their entrance? Also, do they pump? Do they pump exercises before coming out?"
some do. I I'd say it's mostly the guys. Girls don't really do that. But I'd say you can definitely see that with the guys. But as far as me, I personally don't. I'm pretty much pumped during the week. And hold on 1 second, you guys can come with me. But I also have Ferris, in case you didn't know, and he is like running around trying to destroy everything. But no, I definitely say the guys are. But as far as like me and the girls, not really.
Kenny0453, I do see your comment. That is a question for later on in the podcast, so I'm going to wait. But I do see your comment, and we definitely going to get to that. So just sit tight for me, guys. Like I said, we do have a free giveaway coming up tonight. And one of the first 2 steps you have to do to be eligible, I'm going to go and tell you right now. The first step of the 2 steps you have to do right here at this Instagram page, Kallee Marie, you are going to go follow this Instagram page and take a screenshot. Do not do anything else. Follow it and take a screenshot of you following it. The next step is coming up a little later on in the show, but follow this page, take a screenshot, and then just wait. I'm getting to the next step. So, you said you didn't always want to be a wrestler, and there's really going to be no easy way to say this. So I hope you don't take any disrespect by it, because I'm not talking about you whatsoever. But back when, I think we're around the same age, and back when we were growing up, women's wrestling wasn't what it was today. It
Oh,
was,
absolutely not.
it was those 30-second hair pull matches. How small can your clothes get, kind of thing. So I can understand why, women who want to be wrestlers didn't really want to be wrestlers, because they thought that was all there was to offer. But
Absolutely.
now we kind of see this revolution in women's wrestling, and everybody sees it on TV with WWE, but it really happened on the independent scene with girls like you, girls like Kelsey Reagan, girls like Red Velvet, and everybody else who's just absolutely destroying it on the independent scene. So how important was it for you, and how happy are you to see this change in women's wrestling, where women are really getting the spotlight they deserve?
I'm ecstatic. I mean, it started with women that just wanted to prove that they could do just as much as the men. And having that change really, I mean, it inspired a lot of girls, a lot of women that are coming up into this business, that they can actually do this without just being looked at as eye candy. Um, I'd say that's probably one of the reasons that I steered away from it, is because that's what I was watching back then. And I just wanted to watch the guys. I never really wanted to watch women matches. I watched the guys, and I was in love with how fearless they were and their characters and how they connected with the audience and the stories, and just it was a show. It was fantastic. And to see women do the same thing and have this revolution in women's wrestling, it opens up so many more doors, so many more opportunities. And I mean, it's good to watch. It's good to be a part of, and I'm excited for it.
I can tell how happy you're getting just talking about it. Um, but we kind of, and I'm skipping around a lot. I've wanted to talk to you. I've wanted this interview to happen so bad, just because I know how hard you work. I can see your dedication. I love watching your matches. And I always wanted to get on here and pick your brain. And the fact that we're able to sit down and do it now, I'm marking out just as much as everybody in the comment section is marking out. I just got to hold it together a little bit better.
Thank you.
So this past Sunday, we got to see, one of the biggest stages in sports and entertainment being the Super Bowl. But just before that, a few weeks ago, I got to watch what I call the Reagan Bowl. I got to watch Reagan Fire and Kelsey Reagan in what I'm a big Zach and I are great friends. I consider Zach to be my brother. I even told him that night, I was like, Zach, you didn't have match of the night. The ladies stole the freaking show. And I truly mean that. What was it like? And we kind of hinted at this in the beginning, but when you got the call, when you were told, hey, we're revamping the women's championship, it's not going to be the knockouts title, it's not going to be the divas title, it's not going to be the bombshells title, because those names kind of hint at other things other than wrestling. I don't really like those terms. So when Zach messaged me and said, hey, I won a women's championship, as you know, my company's the one that made the title, I was like, great idea. How did you feel getting the call saying you were going to represent the women's division, and not only represent it, but you were going to be the face of the women's division moving forward?
It was an honor. It's something that's super exciting, especially to be in the ring with Kelsey, who's
Phenomenal match.
just as strong as a competitor. Um, she's somebody that I absolutely love working with. Um, but it was amazing to have know that other people have faith in me, because for such a long time in this business, I was jobbing out to people left and right.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was a better worker. These people were coming in brand new, and for whatever reason, they were getting put over, and I was okay with that. I still love. I want to have the best match possible, so I'm gonna make you look good, even if they're not making me look the best. So I continued working. A lot of stuff happened at Atomic with Zach and I there, and I feel like that's where he's helped me a lot, grow as a wrestler, grow as a performer. So when he took over Real Pro in a sense, and he wanted to change everything, and he basically couldn't think of a better person to put in that spot than me. Uh, it's definitely a moment where you just sit back and think, how is this happening? Like, it feels like a dream. Um, this is like, if I would have told myself 5 years ago when I was first starting that I would be looked at as it's not only Zach's company, like there's multiple companies that
Mm-hmm.
believe in me. But to know that I am doing something and I'm inspiring other people, and I can show like it's more than just your body, like the way that you look and how you do this, that in the ring, but it's actual heart, it's athleticism, it's putting in the work and the effort, and to be recognized for that, like there's no better feeling.
And there's no better person. If I were to sit here and give you my Mount Rushmore of Florida independent women's wrestlers, it would be you, Kelsey Reagan, Red Velvet, and I've got one or two out for the fourth one, but you three ladies are doing such an amazing job. And you say it's not just Zach's company, but over at Atomic Wrestling, Destiny, your other character, was the longest reigning Bombshells champion. Another
Yeah,
massive achievement for you and so well deserved.
thank you.
So moving forward, both Real Pro and Atomic, two of the places that you frequent very, very often, are doing such amazing things. ARW just announced that they're on Fight TV. Real
Yeah.
Real Pro is scheduling show after show after show. Has there ever, and we've kind of been in this gray area with this whole COVID situation going on. How much has that, and the only reason I ask this is because you've been very vocal about it on your Instagram. Like, I watch your stories every day. You've been very, very vocal about this on your Instagram. How much has COVID affected your wrestling as far as being able to travel and go other places, and just how much has it impacted you as in your personal life?
um it's honestly a difficult topic for me because uh not very many people want to speak out publicly about it, and I have just now recently been able to build up enough courage to talk about it. And it's hard, especially being higher, like in the business and having eyes on me.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't want to give off a wrong vibe or a bad impression. But I'm trying to do everything that I can to warn people, because just like the wrestling business, I don't want people to be used, and I don't want people to be deceived or um, fall for something. I just want people to know the facts. And um, I mean, that's what I can say. I personally haven't had anyone in my family affected by it, knock on wood. I do have close family members that are on the front lines that see it and don't want me talking or speaking out about stuff, because it is not what they have learned in their medical field.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just taking all the information as it comes, and I'm going with it. But it stinks that everything's been put on a halt. Like, I don't understand why families can't come together, but you can have the Super Bowl with 25,000 people in the stands. I don't understand why wrestling events can't happen in certain places and it's okay for others. Same thing with school sporting events or with graduations or weddings. Like, there's all these important things, and they want to take away the stuff that matters to us. But then when it comes to the big corporations, everything's perfectly fine. Like, if you talk about the Super Bowl and having 25,000 people there, if you talk about Walmart and everyone can freely go into Walmart, but they don't want you shopping at small businesses. Um, it's it's tough to see our world going through this, and I'm still doing everything in my power to stay safe, as well as the companies that I'm working for, like especially at Real Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are wearing masks, like we're taking the measures in front of the stage and behind the stage, in front of the scenes, behind the scenes also, just to make sure everyone is staying as safe as possible. But it's definitely it's hard to watch people that are hurting because of the vaccine, but also people that are hurting from not. So it's a lose-lose situation right now for all of us, and I think the people in control know that, and they want a war within us. And I'm just trying to stop that from happening.
No, absolutely. And like I said, I watched your Instagram story, and to see how passionate you are about it, and to see like everybody just heard in your answer, you know, you're really trying to stand up for the little guys and the small businesses and stuff like that. And it's just it's remarkable to see somebody in your position willing to stand up and talk about it. And I commend you for it. I applaud you for it. And I have so much respect for you because of the things you're standing up and doing and really advocating for, you know, basic human rights and just being a good freaking person. So kudos to you. And you have all of my respect for the things you've been doing.
Thank you.
So let's shift gears and get back into your wrestling. We talked about Reagan Fire. I almost called you Kelsey Reagan. Almost messed up your name like somebody else did, Justin.
Oh.
Um, I love Justin to death, guys. If you don't support Nerds of Wrestling, please do. It's a great page. Justin Del Rio is an amazing person. But we talked about Reagan Fire. Let's talk about Destiny.
Ooh.
Yeah, there we go.
Come
Um,
here.
we have a lot of comments coming through. I posted up a few of them earlier, but they were saying things like Destiny's my favorite, Destiny's amazing. While you answer, I'll try to find them so I can throw them back up. If you guys commented that, let me know and I'll go and find your original comment. But how did Destiny come to be? Because you are such a bubbly person. You have such a bubbly personality. You're such a delight to be around. And when the first time I saw Destiny, I was nervous. I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I was a little nervous. The mood instantly changed in the room. And what was so amazing about it, you had me hooked in 3 freaking seconds. And I'll tell you why. The second you walked through that curtain, You demanded the attention in the room, and everything was about you, and everybody watched you. The way you walked to the ring, the way you moved to the ring, the way you moved in the ring was absolutely phenomenal. Very well done. Congratulations on what you've been able to create. But where
Thank
did
you.
Destiny come from?
Um, so I love telling this story because it was something so cool for me to go through. But a couple years back, I was a part of Slammiversary. I helped with Rosemary's entrance, which was super cool, super fun to be backstage and talk to everybody there. Definitely an incredible experience and definitely awesome talking to her. But during that time when Atomic was first starting, around that time, Rosemary was a part of the was a part of Atomic, and we were going down the route of me being with Rosemary and me essentially being like one of the hivelings, so to speak. Long story short, that didn't work out before Destiny was truly created, and she went on to Impact. Uh, so we were kind of at a loss as as far as what to say, like what to do with Destiny. But Destiny just turned into this mysterious, malicious, creepy character, and we were trying to go down different avenues instead of being one of the hivelings, because obviously we couldn't do that anymore.
Mhm.
Um, so that's why Destiny was basically unknown, because we honestly didn't know. We just took it as it came and made the most of it, and it was definitely fun too, and it still is fun to play play with this character and evolve her. But
Now, given the person, first off, Rosemary is one of my favorite female wrestlers. Not just female, but favorite wrestlers ever. I was able to go to an event called WrestleCade in North Carolina, and I actually got her picture and her autograph.
wonderful, wonderful.
And it's one of my prized possessions. I love Rosemary. I love her work, and I listened to the What's Up Wrestler with Justin Del Rio, and I heard that story, and it instantly clicked why I love Destiny so much. And don't get me wrong, I'm not comparing one or the other, but you can see the influence that Rosemary had, but at the same time, you can see where you've evolved and made it your own, and it's fantastic to watch. But my next question is, we all see your bubbly personality. You've been laughing and smiling since you came on screen, with the exception of no, don't be sorry. This is great. I
People
love
always
this.
say I smile too much. It was a problem, especially when I was a ref and I would just smile in the corner
Okay, I could see how that would happen as a ref. But
like
aside from the COVID question, you've been so happy, so bubbly, smiling and everything. How hard was it for you? Because Destiny is the painted face. She doesn't talk. She everything is with her actions. How hard was it for you to put the cork on Kallee to kind of let Destiny thrive?
oh, it was so much easier. Because
Really?
all I'd have to do as Destiny is grin and do a stupid smile and then do a stupid laugh, and then it's just creepy. It was fantastic. It was genius.
That promo you did where you didn't say a word and you just played the sound of silence in the background. Fuck, I almost said the F word, but freaking genius. I was as soon as I heard the song, I was like, was there ever a better song for this character? She's such a and I'm not trying to suck up. I've been telling Jason this since I interviewed him. Since I've interviewed Jason, I've been telling him how much of a fan of you that I am, and watching that promo, guys. So let's go ahead and get into step number 2, so I can really show you guys what I'm talking about, guys. For the free giveaway, step number 2, what you guys are going to do. I expect the numbers on this show to go down for just a second, because you're going to have to log off and go subscribe to Kallee Topper on YouTube. Subscribe to this YouTube page. On this YouTube page, you're going to find that promo. You can also find the Reagan Bowl that I was referring to. It's the first video right there, but go subscribe to Kallee's YouTube page. Take a screenshot of it. Don't do anything else. So you should have 2 screenshots. Don't do anything else with it. Don't skip ahead. We're following along together. We got to make this fair. But you guys kind of know where I'm going with it. So take a screenshot, follow her on YouTube, and just stand by. But with that being said, I'm trying to get rid of this photo. I'm sorry. It's literally blocking. There we go. Watching that promo was absolutely amazing. And Who do you have more fun portraying, or is it equal between the two?
Um, I mean, I definitely have more fun as Destiny. Atomic is just it's a different crowd. It's a different environment. I have a different love for Atomic, um, more than any other company, so to speak. So being that character and having the history that I've had there and the audience that's there, it's a night like no other being there. It's absolutely incredible. The atmosphere is just it's unreal. Like there isn't a show that's like that atmosphere. They're alive the whole night. People understand me like within that character, and it's definitely a lot more fun for me.
But I'm sure Reagan Fire also has its advantages.
Reagan's great. I mean, as Destiny, I was heel and face, but Reagan as either a heel or face is a lot. I wouldn't say crazier, but it is crazier. It's amped up a lot. I get to talk back to people, whereas Destiny, I can't speak. Um, I definitely get to have a lot more fun, like with Reagan in that aspect with the audience. But I mean, they both have their perks. They both have their advantages and their cons, in my opinion. But they're both they're just so different, but they're both great.
Absolutely, and they're both great to watch, and I truly mean that. Now, I do want to backtrack because, like I said, I've been having so much fun. I had the questions that I want to hit. I stopped writing stuff down a long time ago, like a moron. But anyway, I want to backtrack just a little bit because I don't get to interview very many female wrestlers for some reason. And every time I do, I like to ask this question: being in such a predominantly male sport, was it hard coming up as a female in this predominantly male sport? Like, did you face any challenges that like the men wouldn't have faced? Did you find it harder to get bookings, or was it easier because there aren't that many women doing what you do at the
I was
level that you
about to
do it?
say it was definitely a lot easier. Um, I I had it easy coming in. I was young, I was hungry, and there are a lot of women workers in Florida compared to other states. So I definitely had it great coming in. I
Callie, somebody wants to say hi.
Hi!
She got so happy.
How are you?
She got
You don't
so happy.
understand. Like him and I
Callie,
have such a
that was
history.
great.
We love
That was
sharks. We
great.
literally said Bruce 2020 for president. Jaws is the best thing ever. He's one of my favorite humans on the planet.
That was awesome. You you popped so hard. Oh, that was great. Now you were saying that it was actually easier, and the next question I want to get into, and Kenny, you've been asking this question. I haven't forgot about you. It's time to ask your question. I'm just going to reword it just a little bit. Callie, do you remember your debut match? I know you remember your debut match, and it's a great story. Do you mind telling people your debut match?
Absolutely. So my debut match, I found out I was gonna do it a couple days before.
Somebody on my Twitch channel, clip Callie's reaction to that, please and thank you.
um, I do remember it. It's pretty vivid. I go back and watch the match here and there. But uh, me and my personality, you would think that I would come in to be a face, right? Oh, I was brand new to the business and they wanted me to be a heel.
Okay,
And
really, really quick because I know where you're going with this, and I just have one question. It's so easy to act like the crowd favorite and get people to cheer you, but coming out day one and you have to make people boo you. Fish out of water?
mhm.
Please continue.
Yeah, so um little bit of backtrack. It was against my trainer, Santana Garrett, who's now in WWE NXT. So congratulations to her. I can't thank her enough for taking me to where I am now. And I'm super thankful, super grateful, and I'm so happy to see where she's at right now. But my first match, Santana Garrett, super babyface, both of us are, but I was supposed to come out as a heel, and I literally opened up the curtain and I screamed with joy. I was so happy. I was like, whoa! Like, I was just so happy to be there. I had friends come to my show. Uh, I had family at this show. It was a bunch of colleagues. Like, it was everybody there, and I was so excited to be there. It was my first match. I was super hyped, and I came out like a total baby face. And then as the match went on, I literally had to start making people hate me. And I was saying stupid comments like, no, you suck, or no, you look funny, or like all these stupid, like cheap heel remarks. Um,
So whose idea was it to get you to debut as a heel?
that was just what the card was. So Santana's super baby. She's the champion. Uh, and I couldn't think of a better opponent at that time. And I ended up being a heel. A
I'm
very
sorry
bad
for
heel.
I'm sorry for looking distracted. Everybody in the comment section is asking for your Instagram and your YouTube. Here it is at the bottom of the screen, guys. It is Kallee Marie on Instagram and Kallee Topper on YouTube. That is where you need to go to follow her and take screenshots of both of them, and then don't do anything else. Just hold those screenshots for now. If you send them to me early, it doesn't count. So just don't do it. Just wait. With that being said, so you're coming through, you're facing your trainer, Santana Garrett. She's over, and they tell you to be a heel. I just asked what that experience was like, and looking back at it, have you ever been able to face her again since then? Does she keep up with your career? Do you how much do you still rely on her for feedback and stuff like that?
I did have a couple matches with her following. She definitely helped me out. I want to say for the first year to 2 years of my wrestling career. Um, After that, she did start moving up, and she still checks on me here and there. We still follow each other and keep up with each other and say hi every once in a while. And she calls me Callie girl. And I get to see her like once in a blue moon, but we're each doing our own thing. We're each making it and on our different journeys, but she's definitely somebody that I'll always look up to and we'll always be friends. And I'm super excited for her. I'm super excited for myself also, but we're definitely at different stages in our path right now, and she's moving to bigger things right now, and I'm being a huge support system for her.
That's awesome. And, we see so many times that whenever, two friends come up together, or trainer and student come up together, and then, one goes to the big stage and one is still on the indies, we tend to see this jealousy thing happen. And it's just amazing that you're able to still support your friend and be happy for her. So thank you so much for being such an amazing, you really are just an amazing person.
Oh, thank
James,
you.
James JV and the dad trainer, I see your guys' questions. We're going to get to those. But before we do, because I think Callie's really going to like this one, we have a comment from Zachy Taylor. Zach says, my favorite Kallee moment of all time, riding Jerry like a sled, and then our double choke slam to Jerry through a table. Jerry can't catch a break. Jerry can't catch a break.
He was literally locked in the porta potty that night and we knocked it over.
Was this a work or a shoot?
It was a shoot.
Oh my God. I just said how nice of a person you were. And you lost somebody in a porta.
The other people that I was in the match with did.
Yeah, that makes sense. Was Zach in the match? Because that makes total sense.
Zach was in the match. And Jason.
So please, because this comment has really, really intrigued me. Give us the rundown of how this happened. This first one, riding him like a sled down a water slide and locked in a porta potty. Please tell us this story, and then guys, I'm going to get back to your guys' questions.
I will definitely have to send you the link to this video for this show. But you can find it on the Atomic Wrestling YouTube page. It was a night, I can't remember where we were, but we were outside, and it was this huge
peaceful place.
What?
In the he comments, says in the toilet. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to be your peaceful place. That's where you go to find serenity and your zen. And you guys are just poor Jerry. Poor Jerry. I got to get Jerry on the show and talk about this. Poor Jerry.
So bad. Locked him in there. Couldn't get out.
The fact that you're laughing while you say this maniacally is the best. You're laughing so hard you're crying. Guys, she is literally crying right now.
Oh my gosh. That was so bad. Hi. I'm fine. I promise. I'm fine. So, this match, we were outside, and it was storming that day. We had the ring outside, and it was storming. Like, constant rain. Constant rain. That was fun. But right next to the ring was a giant inflatable water slide. Giant inflatable water slide, right? So we decided for our match, this was a match where like we the title, we had 3 different titles on the line.
Yes, the one, it was you, Jason, Jerry, Zach, and all the titles were on the line.
Correct. So the first title was for the Bombshells title. So that was the first one that was on the line. And after the match is going on and everything, me and Swirls, for our match, start chasing each other around the ring, right? And then Swirls starts going up the water slide. And I'm like, I'm going to go up the water slide. So I go up the water slide. Both of us are climbing up this very tall water slide until we can no longer be seen anymore. And then I beat him down when he's on the top of the water slide. He's on his belly. And my knees go on top of his back. And I hold on to him like this. And I ride him down a water slide.
Oh my God. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see that anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely great.
Absolutely fantastic. And another reason why I will continue to laugh about Jerry being locked in a bathroom is because after I rode him down the water slide and I got this huge pop and it was amazing and great and fantastic, somebody decided to hit me from behind and knock me out with a trash can. And there I am laying in the water at the bottom of the water slide, and Swirls pins me and wins the Atomic Bombshells Championship.
So this conversation can go one of 2 ways, but I have to know, who was it that hit you? Because one is Zach and one is Jason. And if it was one or the other, one of them had to have ended up in the doghouse for quite a while. Was it that one?
I don't remember.
Yeah, the funny thing about concussions.
I've had so many.
Concussions aren't funny. I was just making a joke, guys.
It's very bad. It's very, very bad. I talked about this with my lead at work. It was just like, oh, we got another concussion. Yeah, that's great.
Jesus. Okay, so we have some reoccurring questions coming in the comment section. We're going to get to them right now. The first one we have coming from the dad trainer. What do you prefer, heel or face?
It depends on the character. So I mean, honestly, I'd say it's the same thing for both. I definitely prefer face because that's just who I am as a person. It's definitely a lot easier for me to portray that persona in the ring. Heel, I'd say, is definitely a lot more fun because I get to be somebody that I am not in real life. But face is definitely more me. It's something that I'm more comfortable with. And if somebody were to ask me, like, hey, you're going into this match blind, go call it in the ring. Um, Basically shoot, so to speak, I would feel most comfortable as a baby face.
Okay, and the next question we have coming up from James Wheeler, and then asked again by my good buddy JV, says dream match with any WWE female wrestler, who and why?
I definitely want to say Ripley as of
Oh
right
my
now,
God,
just because I've gotten the chance to work with her a little bit here and there behind the scenes, and she is phenomenal. Um,
amazing! She won
she
the Rumble. I'm just saying.
the very little bit of chance that we got to talk, and just what she was able to teach me in such a short amount of time, and she's still so young. Um, she she works harder than I honestly want to say any girl there. Like she's phenomenal. If I got the chance to work with her and learn from her, that'd definitely be a dream match because what I learned from her in just a few minutes to an hour was more than I had learned in months to a year.
Zach says it was Jason. I would never. I highly doubt that, Zach. I
Wanted to say
highly.
it was Jason, but I couldn't remember.
Um. Now, one thing I do want to ask you, because something unique about, so if you don't want to talk about this, just say so. We'll move right on. But something that I find really unique is that you and Jason, you guys are together. You're both wrestlers. Is it easier having, being with somebody who's in the business who understands the demand of it? Does that make it easier on your guys' relationship, the fact that both of you are in the business? Or do you guys get really competitive with each other?
No, we definitely lift each other up a lot. He's done so much for me in this business. Um, with all the opportunities that he's gotten, he has shared them my way. Same for me. I want to do whatever I can to share any opportunities that I get with his way. If people want to book me, I'm like, hey, would you want to do like a carpool, or a car load? Like we can get him, we can get Dylan, we can get all these other people that want to go, and we will make it a little bit more than the price that you'd want to pay me for like just driving. But there's been no other person like him that has been um more caring like in this journey, and more supporting. It would be different if I was in a relationship where people just didn't understand those long
Mhm.
nights and the road trips, and when I get beat up, or like all these different things that will happen in wrestling that people really don't think about it unless you're in the business itself. And he, like, every single time he talks to me, like all he wants, like he doesn't even care about himself. All he wants to do, he says this to me all the time. He's like, I just want to make sure everybody eats at the table. And people contact him for bookings nonstop. People want to get on the shows nonstop, and he is unlike any other person. He always wants to give opportunities. And he sees potential in people when people don't see it in themselves. Like for the longest time, all people thought of Jerry was a ref, and because of Jason, like Jason helped him so much. Jason has helped me so much. He's helped me like grow in and outside the ring. And I'm thankful. I'm very
You're getting a little
thankful.
emotional.
I am. He's
He's
like changed. Yeah.
he's such a genuine person, and every time I'm either at Atomic or I'm at Real Pro, there's few people, or not few people, but there's a certain number of people that I always make it a point to go say hey to, let them know that I'm there supporting them. And Jason is always and will always be one of those guys. And I'm very happy that he chose my company to remake his rapid fire title. I know he's looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to handing it over to him. But you guys are great together. Both of you have personalities that match each other. You know, you being on the show, we all see how bubbly and upbeat you are, and to know the kind of person he is. And guys, if you haven't watched the War Room episode with Jason Dugan, I highly, highly, highly recommend you do so. Probably one of the most motivational stories and inspirational stories we've had on this show. Really turned his life around and changed everything about himself for the better, and he's doing fantastic right now. But this show is about Kallee. We're going to keep it about Kallee. Um, so I like to ask this question to just about everybody I have on the show. And guys, the giveaway is coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. You already have the screenshot of her Instagram. You have the screenshot of her YouTube. If you don't have it, here's the names. Go follow it. You still have a chance to win. It's not over yet. Go follow it. If you haven't already, you must follow both. Take a screenshot of both and then wait. But with that being said, so to this point, how long have you been wrestling?
So I started training when I was 16. I had my first match when I was, I want to say, oh yeah, I was 17. I was 17 when I had my first match. July 16 was my first match, against Santana. And then I'm 22 now, and it's 2021. So it's been quite a long time.
So
Like 5 years.
2016 to 21, about 5 years. So if you can go back 5 years and give yourself one piece of advice, something that you've learned over the years, just something that would have really helped you back then that you now know, what would you go back and tell yourself? What would that advice be?
Honestly, stay consistent. I'd say is the biggest thing. There was a lot of points in my wrestling journey when I didn't take it as serious. I I'm still like getting the hang of promoting a lot more. I say I wasn't promoting as much as I should up until about a month ago. Um, for all these years, it's just not something that I realized was such a big thing to do. And if I could have gone back and tell myself like promote yourself, stay humble, which I mean I was humble, but like that's constantly a thing. Like it's better to stay quiet and stay humble and continue to tell yourself that, and every single time you go and meet as many people as you want to meet. um I'd say those are like the big things. Never fail to ask questions is another one. I've come in contact with so many different like crazy people that are up there. I wish I could have like picked the brains when I had the chance for so many different people. But I'd say those are a couple things, not just one thing, but those are a couple things.
As and I agree with everything you said. You know, you got to stay humble, stay consistent. And as far as promoting goes, I got to tell you, and I'm so grateful for this, and thank you so much. Out of any guest I have ever had on this show, I've been doing this for just over a year now. And out of every guest I've ever had, you promoted this interview more than any of them. So thank you for that. You were
You're
sharing the posters, you were sharing the videos, and I can't thank you enough for that. Thank you so much for that. Um, but we talked about earlier, you know, you frequent ARW, Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling. We've talked about Real Pro, but let's shift gears a little bit because you guys just had a major announcement. Fight TV,
Oh
worldwide,
my god, this is so
world,
cool. So cool.
worldwide recognized brand. You guys are going to be in a ton of different houses. You guys are an independent company who's going to be running pay-per-view shows. That's massive. And
So
you
cool.
are
And tapings.
and
And
take
tapings. We're gonna have
and
2 days. It's gonna be so much fun.
you're going to be. I would imagine that Destiny is going to be, you know, at the forefront of the women's division. Um, we may or may not have remade that women's title. By the way, it may or may not be right on the other side of this wall, but I am under strict instructions by the owner to not show anybody, and I will follow those orders. But just know it looks amazing. Um,
Wonderful.
But you know, moving forward with Fight TV and being in the women's division, how excited are you to be a part of this moving forward? You know, we were just talking about
Does
Jason.
my face not say it all?
Jason was named head of talent relations, and you know, you both have so much to look forward to moving forward. How excited are you for this next chapter in ARW?
Is that really a question?
I mean, I just love your answer. You're so giving with your answers. I never want you to stop talking. They
Yeah,
didn't come here to see me. They came here to see you.
Hi. How are you? No. I'm stoked, to be honest. Like I was honored to be able to actually go and watch it live, which was super cool to watch, and see all of them announce that and get the little like behind the scenes look of everything. It's so cool. Like this Fight TV holds a bunch of different companies that are out there and have their eyes on. Like you got Impact, you got New Japan,
Ring of Honor.
you got Ring of Honor, you got AEW. Like there are so many fantastic promotions, especially women's promotions. There's Shine on there as well. There's different promotions from different countries. Like it is it's such an amazing platform, and I am super excited for all of us, but more than that, like I'm excited for Atomic itself, and I'm excited for Red because this is a story that all of us were constantly told, especially Red, that he wasn't going to make it, that the company was going to go under, that he's nothing more than a mark, and this promotion is never going to last. And we're a success story. Like every Red has given so many people opportunities. He believed in every single person, and to see this good come back to him and come back to all of us. There has never been a locker room that I've been a part of where literally everybody put their hands in the middle and was like, every single match, you're gonna go out and kill it. And do you hear that crowd out there? They're all here for you guys and they're coming for you. And like, we are pumping each other up. Atomic is a family. And for us to be recognized on Fight TV, and to be able to do tapings and just move on up, like, we're a success story. We're proving people wrong. Um, it is just awesome to be a part of it. Like, it's so cool.
You're so happy right now.
I am. I'm so happy because if you would have told me this is what I'd be doing 5 years ago, I'd be like, uh, uh how? Like,
It's through the hard work that people like you and Jason and Zach and Alex Red have all put forward. And, I've had many conversations with Alex Red. Um, Alex Red is the owner of Atomic Revolutionary Wrestling, ARW, in the state of Florida. Just got a new home, by the way, in Melbourne, Florida. A much bigger space,
it's
more opportunities for you guys.
fantastic.
I can't
It
wait.
is well,
I'm going to be there 2 weeks from now. I'm actually hand delivering the new titles to Alex, and we're going to be there to watch the show. But, me and Alex,
it's insane. It's
Alex,
bigger and better, and the ceilings, we can actually do stuff off of the top rope now without worrying about a ceiling getting broken, and we have more space on the outside, and like it's gonna be a bigger crowd, and it's gonna be a bigger everything. It's so cool. It's so cool.
yeah, and I was going to say, Alex is one of those guys who has been told, you're never going to make it, stuff like that. And Alex is so passionate about wrestling, and I can say this because me and Alex we got into an argument once. We patched things up. We chalked it up to a bad day. We both had lack of sleep. We were both very hungry. But that's the thing, when you get people who are so passionate about this and love this business, you're gonna have disagreements. You're gonna have arguments, whatever the case may be. But we're able to patch things up, and I look forward to watching everything you guys do and the effort you guys put in the ring and the effort you guys put into the shows you put on and the production value and everything you guys do. Everything you guys have already been doing. You've been doing this for a while now, and now you guys are being recognized for it. Very well deserved. You have a great roster of people. Like I said, you, Zach, Jason. You guys have Shannon Moore, Wes Briscoe, Red Velvet. I mean, the list goes on and on. You guys are doing phenomenal things, and I am so grateful to be a fan. I'm so grateful to watch what you guys do. And for me to be able to, well, I didn't make them. I just worked for the company that did. But for us to be able to remake your guys' titles and have some kind of part in it, whether it be just the smallest little bit, I'm so grateful to be a part of what you guys are doing. Kallee, this has been such an amazing time. I'm so glad we're able to do this. We do have one other thing to get to, and then we're going to get into the final parts, guys. It is that time. I told you guys last night that something on this screen was going to be given away absolutely free for tuning in. All you had to do was these two things at the bottom. You have to follow Kallee Marie on Instagram. You have to follow Kallee Topper. It's the same person. Kallee Marie, Kallee Topper, Destiny, Reagan Fire, same person. But you're going to follow her on her social medias being Instagram and YouTube. Now, here we go. I got my phone in my hand. Hold on. Don't do anything yet because a lot of people sent them early and I'm deleting those right now. Okay.
Ooh.
The first person who sends me the screenshots of Kallie's Instagram that you're following and Kallie's YouTube page that you're following, and it has to say, I'm following Kallee, that way I know you did it right now, is going to be the winner. So send those screenshots to my Facebook. Do not post them in the Facebook group. Do not post them on my Twitch. Send them to my Facebook Messenger right now. While we wait on them to do that, is there any other forms of social media that you have that they can find you or follow you on other than your Instagram and your YouTube?
I do also have Twitter. I don't use it as often, but you can follow me on Twitter at Kallee_Topper, KALLE_TOPPER. If anybody else wants to contact me for anything business related, my email is kallee.topper@gmail.com.
There you go. There's where you can find her on all of her social medias. We do have a winner. A lot of these came in at the exact same time, but I'm checking the timestamps right now. Sid Matrix, you were just 1 minute too late. Let me check my ones that aren't that I'm not friends with. And it looks like we do have a winner. The first person to send it in at 8:06 was Mr. Michael Dodson. I will message you in just a little bit, and we will go over everything. I'll let you know what you won and all that other good stuff. We do have to wrap things up, but I have your message right here. Mr. Michael Dodson is the winner. Thank you for following, Kallee. Thank you for tuning into the show. Kallee, is there anything you want to say before we sign off? Any final thoughts or anything like that?
I just wanted to say, everybody, thank you for hearing me out and my story, and thanks for following me. If you continue to follow me, thank you so much. Please check out some of my stuff. Check out some of the companies that I work for. We all do this for you. I do what I personally do for all of you guys. So I wanted to say thank you to all of you, because without all of you, what I do isn't possible. And thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this. This was awesome. Unlike any other interview that I did so far. And it's just great to laugh and talk. So thank you.
Absolutely. Guys, we will be back live next week with another pro wrestling interview. Make sure you follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/HeelKevin. We are now affiliated on Twitch, so that means I'm going to be able to give you guys better streams, more improved streams. You guys will actually be able to subscribe to my channel now. And thank you to everybody who helped me get there. Kallee, if I can have just one more minute of your time when the live feed ends, I would really appreciate it. And
Absolutely.
guys, we will be live next Thursday, 7 p.m. for another pro wrestling interview. I can't wait to see all of you there. Congratulations to the winner. I will reach out to you once this is over, and we'll discuss everything. Thank you to everybody who watched. Thank you to everybody subscribed to myself and Kallee. And we will see you next week live in the War Room, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Can't wait. See you there.